All right, Psych 213. In this lecture, lecture 2, we're going to talk about classical conditioning. So this goes back to Pavlov, right? And you might remember what he did from your intro psych class. So what happens is you have some stimuli that automatically sort of elicit a response. So he used dogs and they're salivating. So when they go to eat food, part of the digestive process is to salivate. Pavlov was studying, he's a physiologist, and he was studying digestion. So he was collecting the saliva of dogs to sort of understand it. So he would use food and they would salivate. Well, he noticed that the dogs were making some associations and they would associate stimuli that were associated with the food and begin to salivate. So then he started doing some experiments. So you could take a neutral stimulus like a sound, like a bell or a chime, and he did all kinds of things for this. And then you associate it, pair it with the food, and eventually, if you do this enough times, eventually the tuning fork itself will elicit the response. So there's some terminology here that we have to learn. The food that automatically elicits a response here in classical conditioning is called the unconditioned stimulus. And the response that that elicits is the unconditioned response. A lot of times, the unconditioned response is the same as the conditioned response, as it is in this example, but it's not always the case, and we'll talk more about that in class with some examples. The neutral stimulus that doesn't really do anything, like the animal can detect it, it might orient its attention to it, but it doesn't elicit a response. That's called a conditioned stimulus once it's paired with the food. So it'll eventually be called the conditioned stimulus. So you pair the CS, conditioned stimulus, and the UCS, the food, and eventually the CS itself will elicit a response without the food, without the unconditioned response. And then you have what's called the conditioned response because it's been learned, it's been conditioned to happen. So that's a basic classical conditioning. I have some other human examples that we'll talk about in class. But one other one that you can see is by watching this video. So I'm going to put a link in there and you can watch the video of this kid who did a experiment for his Psych 101 class, and hopefully you find it amusing, but keep in mind that what he did is pretty much unethical and I don't necessarily endorse it, but it's an interesting, good video that's memorable.